Hey guys, ScopeSightCX. Yeah, welcome back to the Wii dashboard. We haven't been here in a long freaking time, still nothing here. But today we are going to, I guess you could say, start on a new Let's Play that I'm temporarily going to do, at least until Xbox Live comes back, I don't know. But we're going to start Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Yes, some of you may remember that I said I wanted to get this game in, it was one of the New Super Mario Bros. Wii episodes. That was around the time the game came out, and I finally got it. I've been actually having a lot of fun. Well, I haven't really been playing this one that much because I've played this to death on my iPod. But I have been playing this. I've been playing the sequel on the Wii, and from what I can tell, the controls are very similar. And yeah, you actually have to buy the 5th case. There are 5 cases to this particular game, but you have to buy the other one for 100 Wii points, which is ridiculous. But the reason I didn't pick port 1 was because that was one that I tested it out on. It worked great. So we're going to start a new game. The first turnabout. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I really want to help him out. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yep, that's him. Death, despair, oh. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who? Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Haha, funny pun. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault, just has terrible luck. Other than that, he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 o'clock a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Yeah, no, it's not the evidence or anything we present, it's the conduct. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Well, Phoenix Wright is who we are. Mia Fey, that's the woman who was talking to us, so it has to be Larry. And we've already said that. The defendant, well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Press the plus button to check it anytime, okay? Fourth wall, much? Yeah, the fourth wall, it has been shattered. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case? Well, we can check the court record and go to profiles. Well, here's our evidence first. This is our attorney's badge and the autopsy report. Time of death, July 31st, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. And let's just back up a little bit here. We have Mia Fey, our chief attorney at Fey & Company, my boss and a very good defense attorney. Larry Butts, the defendant in this case, a likable guy who was my friend in grade school. Cindy Stone, the victim in this case, a model. She apparently, she lived in an apartment by herself. And finally, this guy, Winston Payne. The prosecutor of this case lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across. He's only the prosecutor of the first case. So, cinder block, I love that. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was poisoned, hit with a blunt object, or strangled. Well, it said blunt trauma force in the autopsy report. Loss of blood due to blunt trauma, so trauma equals object. Being hit with derp. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then, first a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. And we have a new thing in evidence, but if you press the plus button here... Oh, wait, no, you can't. I just tried it. Right. Now we can. Before we listen to Mia's speech, here it is. Statue in the shape of the Thinker. Rather heavy. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Press the plus button to check the court record, and do it frequently. Again, fourth wall. Shattered. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Ahem. And before I continue, this is where we enter testimonies, which is where a majority of the gameplay in court takes place, actually. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra, and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumb. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you, anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. And we'll check the passport really quick. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on July 30th, the day before the murder. Very good. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude, we can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... No, we should stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to the case. Yeah. He's not confident. Dude, Nick, what do you mean, irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Well, why don't we just get to the bottom of it right now? Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I've seen stop him from answering. I want to do this one. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Not good. Not good at all. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Saw to the stand. Mr. Saw, you sell newspapers. Is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Saw, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell what you saw on the day of the murder. Forget what I said earlier. Witness's testimony actually comes in now. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in the apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 o'clock p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Are phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Saw used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. And the blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright, let's just check out this really quickly. Electricity in Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor. Alright, Wright, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you expose the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it or rub it in the witness's face. Okay. So remember, press the witness with the minus button or by waving a Wii remote. Then check your facts again with the plus button and point out the contradictions. Cross-examination. Witness's account. And before we begin, this game on the WiiWare is a port of the DS version, so any instances of touchscreen or A, B, X, or Y buttons had been removed and replaced accordingly. I was going to the door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking a stranger looked inside the apartment. Let's start here with pressing. What gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only human to want to peek? We climb mountains because they're there. It's the same thing. Truer words have never been spoken. Anyone would look inside. Why did pain cut him off so quickly? She looked into the apartment. What happened then? Saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. Put in the front and found outside. I called the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working, and it goes to the last statement, 1 o'clock. If we look, yes, you can also present with the minus button. Swing the mirror, Wii remote like you're presenting to do just that. That's actually more fun. And that was an original piece of art commissioned for this, so I think that's pretty cool. Now let's look at this. Time of loss. Now, if you look at this, it says 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Why would it say 1? And that was a Wii remote wave. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. And that's a pun on his name because his name is Frank. Ha! And my evidence of that. Excuse me. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death is sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh, this is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw It. Why are you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Time discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on the taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. And once again, another cross-examination. Alright, and... it's probably coming from the television. Well, obviously, there was a blackout, so it couldn't have been the television. Before I went to present this evidence, I'm going to say that there won't be much commentary from me and more reading, just because it's a mainly text-based adventure. Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Yeah. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Saw It? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Well wait, I remember now. Mr. Saw It, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. But my apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Saw It. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. And they will try to do this when they realize that they are struggling. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. And I can explain this right now. And there's a change to music, so we're getting somewhere. Table clock in the apartment wasn't there. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. But the victim, not the victim, the murder weapon was only submitted as a statue.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now, how is it supposed to be a clock? Oh, best music ever! You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As a witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. Next to the switch, you just tilt it and it says the time out loud. Excuse me, my throat's kind of dry. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Obviously. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. I'm sorry, there was just a bit of lag, and now it's lagging like crazy. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Okay, it's really lagging right now. Oh, there we go. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw It, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon was just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Well, would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I saw it. What? Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her and he should burn. Burn, give him death. And once again, it's lagging like crazy. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from this clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Saw It heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try signing the clock. Let's sign the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Saw It heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Saw It, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about? While it may seem like this clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination.